So I feel it's really important that I'm honest, and I don't bash anything, I just tell the truth for the purpose of educating and empowering people. And so in the United States, I heard when I attended a training at Courage Worldwide that typically from 5 to 7 in the morning, lunchtime, and 5 to 7 in the evening, that is when 11 to 13-year-old girls get picked up for sex. Why is that? Because that is when businessmen are on their way to work. And so the point is, we have to consider in our minds who can afford to pay $100 US, $250 US per hour, per 30 minutes to a prostitute. People with money. Let's think about it. And so I heard about a group of girls who were bought inside the Christian Bible study for sex. And the fact is, these girls have been violated by so many different men in different positions of power, different denomination. And some of these girls have an immense hatred for men. And some of that hatred is the reason why they become a lesbian, because they want to safeguard. It completely makes sense. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with their behaviors between them and God, but I'm making a point. When you have been violated by every single man in your life, what do you expect? And so when we're judging and pointing the finger, it's simply not right. It's not our place to do that. Only God can judge. I also heard of a boy, maybe around 10 years old, and he was brought into the scout meeting by his mother or father, and he was raped repeatedly in the basement. I can't just say scout meeting without explaining that. Not everyone knows what a scout meeting is. A scout meeting is when a group of boys will go off and they'll make campfires and bonfires and learn different skills as part of the church group meeting. So the point is, anybody can traffic, anybody can exploit, anybody can abuse. And so I say to girls, when you're a girl, talk to a girl. When you're a boy, talk to a boy. Because of that vulnerability. As I said, I was abused from 4 to 10 by my stepfather. And a cousin I have, a cousin in marriage, the name doesn't matter, but an adult cousin I had who was 20 plus years older than me, he tried to take advantage. But what you have to understand, nothing happened whatsoever. I'm not defending, I'm not hiding things. Nothing happened, but he would talk to me, because talking is a form of grooming. Please understand that. He would talk to me and listen to my problems, but he had the intention of sexually abusing me. I was underage, it would be statutory rape. And it gets a lot worse, because he actually went and told my mother stories which basically accused me of being a prostitute. And because I was abused as a child, it kind of makes sense, right? Not the case. I've never sold my body. I have no intention of doing that. That's not the journey I've taken. But this individual wanted to take advantage of my vulnerability and then give stories that I was a prostitute. So when he does rape me, it would seem as though I was asking for it. And so what you have to think about, and this applies to girls particularly, when you're posting pictures, what are you putting out there? There's nothing wrong with taking photographs, but photographs and pictures say 1,000 words. So when I post the pictures, because of the abuse and the holes in my brain, I don't know how to pose, so I just kind of stand very casually. I don't know how to pose, it's quite awkward. But a lot of girls, they pose, and this is very embarrassing, but they sort of pose like this, and like this, and like this, and like this. Very awkward. But the point is, when I show the kids that, they laugh because they know they pose like that. And so I said, when someone poses like me, the trafficker says she's too much work, I'm gonna have to brutalize her, gang rape her, keep her in a closet for 3 days. But when he sees those poses, right? When he sees those poses, he says she's having sex or she's gonna have sex. Understand that. Maybe that's not the reality, but think about what you're putting out there. When you dress provocatively with little shorts like a pair of knickers and walk out on the street, what are you saying to people? And remember the vulnerability. If you were abused at age 5, there is the target on your back. And in England, the statistics say 1 in 3 females have been sexually abused. And I came to Trinidad. I was in a room with 3 females. I was one of them. All 3 of us had been sexually abused at age 5, and 2 of them had been raped. Understand that. And their paths took different ways. Neither became a prostitute, but their path took different ways, as did mine. The point is that the statistics are not right. It says 1 in 3, and in Trinidad it's a smaller country, but the statistics are wrong. It's so much more than that. So you have to think, when you put a picture, what are you saying? Who is seeing that photograph? Remember the guy who saw you, took you, groomed you, whatever? He sees those pictures, and that's why he comes and he says, hey, this is a girl right for the pickings. He doesn't tell you that, but it's in his mind. Understand this. Any person could become a victim of sex trafficking. Anybody could. I used to say it could never happen to me, and that's a lie from the pit of hell. It could happen to anybody. But why is it a lie? Because if there's a gun to my head, what will I do for survival? Now, my dream is to open an orphanage and to open a restaurant. And I don't want to make money. I want to give it away. So my restaurant will be a charity. My orphanage is a charity. It's not about profit. But for me, I want to survive so that I can give away money and provide a home and provide food for people. Think about it. I have desires. I have dreams that don't even benefit myself. But if there's a gun to my head, I want to survive so that that can become a reality. What about you? What will you do for survival? And some of these women are in a prison. Some of these women are in a mental prison. Now, I heard a story of some African American traffickers who were arrested. And when they were arrested, they were found with books.